That's his own voice. That's Wisconsin State Patrol Trooper Scott Darin, who joins us in studio. And don't forget, for the folks who want to watch the presentation as well, WTMJ.com/StudioCam. You can see it. You can, of course, hear it right here on WTMJ. We are also joined by his father, Police Lieutenant David Darin. Thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you, Steve.
So when I hear your story, and we talked on the phone, I think a couple of weeks ago now, it's not something you do every day, but it does become part of your service. And first of all, congratulations on being our award winner today. It is well deserved. And as a salute to service, I think you demonstrate what we expect in our professionals who serve in public safety. So take us back to that day. I mean, we heard a little bit of that, but you get the call. What's going through your mind as you head off to that call?
Well, first, thanks for having me. It was just a normal day. It was actually a beautiful day to work. Sunny, 70 degrees. I was ready to go out, just do my job well. And right in my driveway, I get the call from the Washington County Sheriff's Office of this woman choking on food at the Pioneer truck stop. And I live relatively close, so I responded. And with the deputy being extremely close, he was on scene within 30 seconds. It was Deputy Jacob McCardle from the Washington County Sheriff's Office. He arrived, and he quickly assessed the scene. And due to the severity of the incident, I continued from my house.
When you roll up on something like that, and this isn't the first time you've done something like this, what does that feel like? I mean, you have training, and that prepares you to do the things that you were going to do, but there's got to be an increase in adrenaline and just the uniqueness of the situation that kind of factors into what you do.
Absolutely. On the way there, this is with almost all police officers. We're constantly doing mental rehearsal of, okay, you go back to your training and you think, this is for CPR, this is what I need to do. If this is happening, I need to do this. When I arrived on scene, there are many bystanders around her. You, as the police, you need to be the calm of the storm when you get there. In your head, you may have that adrenaline rush, but on the outside, you need to be calm and collected, and you need to take control of the scene and do what you need to do.
And physically, what did you do when you arrived?
When I arrived, I first obviously made contact with the deputy. I watched him as he was hooking up an AED to the woman and also starting chest compressions.
And for those who don't know, an AED is?
Automated external defibrillator. It monitors heart rhythm, and if there is no heart rhythm, it would advise a shock to shock the heart back to rhythm. Also, I talked to the husband of the woman on scene, kind of get a story of what happened. I only heard that she was choking. I kind of wanted a little more. That was extremely brief, maybe 30 seconds, and then I started assisting the deputy.
From start to finish, you arrived when you realized she's coming back, she's going to be saved. How long a period of time was that? I
would say 15 minutes. Myself and the deputy did all that we could to artificially keep her heart beating until the ambulance could get there, and they gave her advanced rescue support, and that greatly increased her chance of survival until she made it to the hospital. Once she made it to the hospital and we found out she was going to be okay, that sigh of relief that came over you, it felt really good, to be honest.
That's the voice of Trooper Scott Darin. We're also joined by his father, Police Lieutenant David Darin. After the break, I'm going to ask you about a life served in law enforcement. Your father, 37 years in the business, you about 2. What that means from both perspectives, that's next. WTMJ Cares Salute to Service right here on WTMJ.
Rise and shine with Gene and Jane.
You've all seen the videotape. Now the man himself is going to speak. Sterling Brown on his encounter with Milwaukee Police. That's at 7:41 tomorrow morning.
Wisconsin's Morning News with Gene Miller on WTMJ.
Hey guys, I was looking for a new mattress for the longest time, but have you seen the prices on these things lately? Obscene. Thank goodness the MyPillow mattress topper came along. I own one, delivered right to my front door. Have to tell you, the setup was easy. You place the MyPillow mattress topper on top of your existing mattress, adjust the straps, that's it. You're ready to enjoy the best sleep you ever had, just like I am. You know what else is helping me sleep better at night? That I didn't have to lay down a mortgage payment to finally get the sleep that I deserve. Right now, if you go to MyPillow.com, use promo code Scaffidi, you get 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and 2 free MyPillow standard premium pillows. The same pillows that keep their shape all night long. They stay cool all night long, machine washable and dryable. You can have a fresh, clean MyPillow as often as you like. The MyPillow mattress topper comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Yes, that's right. 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee, made right here in the USA. Again, go to MyPillow.com right now. Use my exclusive promo code Scaffidi. Not only you get 30% off your order, but the folks at MyPillow are going to throw in 2 MyPillow standard premium pillows at no extra cost. Again, that's MyPillow.com and our promo code Scaffidi, SCAFFIDI, or call 800-970-1163.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington. Not much is about the real issues we care about in Wisconsin. That's why we need grassroots conservative Leah Vukmir in the U.S. Senate. As the daughter of immigrants, Leah doesn't just believe in the American dream, she's lived it. And she'll fight to secure the border and build the wall to keep our families safe. As a committed parent, Leah fought to improve her kids' schools. She'll make sure decision-making stays local and our children receive the best education. As a Blue Star mom, Leah knows the sacrifice our heroes make. She'll work with President Trump to fully fund our military and take care of our veterans. And as a proven conservative, Leah stood with Governor Scott Walker and Republican leaders in the tough fights that made the Wisconsin comeback possible. She'll take the Wisconsin way to Washington. On August 14th, vote Republican Leah Vukmir for U.S. Senate. Paid for by the Republican Party of Wisconsin, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. WISGOP.org.
Hi, this is Mequon Police Chief Steve Groff. We're supporting Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service Month because every day, thousands of police, fire, and EMS personnel around the state put their lives on the line to serve you and I. They're not looking for recognition, but they deserve it.
WTMJ Cares Salute to Service. Today's awardee, Wisconsin State Patrol Trooper Scott Darin. We're also joined by his father, who is a police lieutenant, Village of Kohler, 37 years in law enforcement. First question, tell us about your son.
Well, I'm quite proud of him. I think you could probably grab any police officer off the street right now and ask them to tell a story, and they'd have a list as long as their arm, just like Scott's. But I'm very grateful to you for selecting Scott. My wife and I, his brothers, our extended family, all very, very proud of him. And it's a continuation of service.
I was going to ask you about that. You have 37 years in law enforcement related to serving the public. Tell us about your career, what you've learned about the relationship between the community, which is so important now, and law enforcement, and really what Salute to Service means to you.
Well, service has been a way of my life since I've grown up. My dad, much like you, was a mayor of a small city in which I grew up in Michigan. And he was also a member of the volunteer fire department, not either one being compensated. He had a career just like you did as well. And that kind of set the stage for service, and it was just a way of life around our home. And Scott couldn't help but being affected by it. My wife is an educator. She wanted to be here today, but her school, Hartford Union High School, is doing a day of service today. They have 1,500 students. Every staff, every administrator from the superintendent on down is out in the community of Hartford doing service projects. And that's kind of the culture of our home. So it was not a surprise that Scott stepped up to do this. Yeah,
and you have 37 years. He has roughly 2. So Scott, and I've heard this from many of the people that we've talked to, it's not about one person. You mentioned one name, but there's other people involved in this story, dispatchers. Talk about the relationship between all the folks who actually go into a story like this, in this case, a life-saving story.
Sure. It's definitely not just the first people that arrive on scene. The dispatchers, they do a fantastic job. Also, the rescue crew. I think this would have been a different outcome if the rescue crew did not get there as fast as they did. Also, providing that advanced life support equipment really greatly increased her chances of survival. So it was a big team effort. Everyone had their part, everyone had their role, and everyone did it just perfectly.
So I've talked to dozens of people working in public safety as a part of this WTMJ Cares Salute to Service, and I've heard it both ways. Some say they can separate the personal and the professional. Some say it's hard to. When you have stories like you've been involved with, life-saving events where you've actually intervened and saved someone's life, one, I'm sure it makes you proud and happy that you have the training and all those things that went into being ready for a call like that. But can you walk away from it after your shift's over? Does it kind of linger with you for a while?
You absolutely cannot walk away from it right away. That night, I did not get a good night's sleep that night, knowing that I was not expecting that at the start of my shift. That's the nature of the police work. You never know what's going to happen on your shift. And that one lingered with me for a while. But I'm proud to know that I did everything I could, and it turned out the way that I wanted it to.
WTMJ Cares Salute to Service, presented by First Bank Financial Center. Today's awardee, Wisconsin State Trooper Scott Darin. I want to ask your father, is there a worry factor? You're in law enforcement. Your son's out there. He's relatively new to it. Is there a worry factor about the life spent in law enforcement?
Absolutely. And I have a new appreciation for it. My wife has been through this for many decades, worrying about me, and I always felt comfortable on the road. Now I worry about Scott, and when he isn't home on time, I start to worry. And my wife has a little bit of a grin on her face now, realizing what I've been putting her through.
Yeah, so now you know what that's like. And,
right.
and that can't be easy, because the challenges of law enforcement, we all know about them. The situation in Milwaukee that we were talking about at the beginning of this show. How challenging is it out there, the life of a state trooper? Tell us about what you do every day, because I don't think a lot of people actually know. You do a lot of different things in the scope of a shift. Yes,
there's many different things. To start, most of our enforcement and patrol is out on the interstate. We're not like a city police department where our jurisdiction is only in the city. We have statewide jurisdiction, but mostly we stay on the freeways, the channels between cities, between country roads, stuff like that. To be honest, everything is just different every day. I could be going to rescue calls off the freeway. A lot of it is assisting the sheriff's department, but also protecting the lives out on the freeway, responding to crashes. People broke down on the side of the road, and also taking enforcement action to people that are violating the law on the freeways.
Did you know fairly early on that you wanted to go into law enforcement?
Somewhat, yes.
Well, you had your example of your father.
Yes, that is true. I would say he showed me what it could be, but he didn't really push me into it. He really emphasized, do whatever you want to do and whatever makes you happy. And I just found a love for it probably in high school. I thought I could see myself doing that, and now here I am.
And what are the challenges to the job? I talked about the fact that in some ways, in some cases, the public doesn't have the level of respect that they used to have for the position. Do you see those challenges out there?
Absolutely. It happens all the time. I always try to live by the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. And most of the time, I don't have any issues in the other way. So with that being said, the golden rule is how I live, and that really makes my job easier. I give people respect, and they give me respect in return, and usually it works out just fine. And
I asked your father this question. We'll wrap with this one. What does Salute to Service mean to you?
Salute to Service means it's a great program that shows what law enforcement, especially in this time of law enforcement, what it really means, what the majority of police officers, first responders are dealing with every day. And it also gives an insight into how it affects their personal lives, not just their professional lives. We're people too. We bleed the same colors. We breathe the same air. So it really shows what a life is like to be a first responder. I see your father nodding in approval, and for a young age, you're a pretty smart guy. I mean, some real wisdom, especially in all the things we talk about on this show, some of the challenges in law enforcement. You seem to understand the role of law enforcement and what you can do in the community. A great example of why you were selected for the WTMJ Cares Salute to Service. State Patrol Trooper Scott Darin, thank you for being here. Your father from the village of Kohler, Police Lieutenant David Darin. Great examples for our community and for law enforcement, in this case, public safety. Thank you, both of you, for being here.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for your project this month.
It's been a real joy, and to be able to share these stories. We have one more coming up tomorrow. This is an incredible story as well. They're all incredible, but tomorrow's story, a firefighter on vacation, Manistee, Michigan, on a beach, saves 4 people's lives. He's on vacation, nearly costing his own life. they're all incredible, but that is an even a more amazing story. That'll be number 5 of our WTMJ Cares Salute to Service presented by First Bank Financial Center. You can check out more about our Salute to Service on WTMJ.com. Check me out on Twitter. I have all the stories there all week telling you the stories that we're hearing about.